It's a 1-0 win today over Barwell. It was a bit of war at times, but actually a nice move as well in that game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's never going to be too pretty, I don't suppose. I thought the first half we started really well. Obviously, their goalkeeper makes an unbelievable save to keep Luke Bembo's header out off a ball in the box. I think it was a long throw, was it? Anyway, I can't remember. But he heads and he makes a great save onto the post. It trickles across the line. Here we go again. It's like Bury, you know, where their goalkeeper wins MOM. And I thought for 5 or 10 minutes we was on the front foot, and then I thought their system worked better than ours against ours, if you like. They were getting out down the sides with our we were playing a 3-5-2. We changed from that box to a 3-5-2 today because playing at home, I felt we need to get 2 strikers up there and get goal scorers on the pitch, if you like. And I thought then, without hurting us too much, that they had good possession and they were starting to get balls into the front players around the edge of our box. And I didn't really like it. Second half, we changed to 4-4-2 to get to half time. And then we went to 4-3-3 and matched them up in the second half and pressed a little bit better. We were pressing, but we just weren't getting there. Do you know what I mean? They were popping it round us before we got there. We nicked a couple, but it wasn't enough. And then when we matched them up, it was clearly you had a man to go up against. And I thought second half we did all right. We could again hit the post again. Great strike. Was it Newley? I think.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant hit. Their goalkeepers again pulled a Bembo's free kick. He's had a couple of other saves. But they've always got that sting going forward. They were committed a little bit, and you think, who's going to win? Who's going to win? And then we score. It's a good strike from Rory, and he hits his man. Flick on. Obviously, Theo gets on the end of it, and it's a brilliant ball across. And Billy, who's ran himself, he ran 12.5k at Bedford on Tuesday night. He ran 12.5 kilometres, and he'll have done at least that today. So he's best part of a marathon in 5 days. Null ran 12.5k at Bedford. By bear in mind, we didn't have the ball. They were popping us around and then chasing. So it's a big effort. It's a big effort. And then, listen, you just want to, in the end, your natural instincts to try and hang on to what you've got. But we broke away, didn't we? 3 or 4 times, and probably should do better. But I'm not going to moan because it's a big relief. It's a big relief to get a win for me personally, and obviously for the club. On the back of the meeting the other night and everything. Hopefully, and listen, one swallow don't make a summer, and we're still very much and will be for the foreseeable in a dogfight. But it's a big step forward. It's got that monkey off our back a little bit. Maybe the lads can relax a little bit now and start to play how we train.
You mentioned Billy Shaw, soft, and he's putting brilliant shifts, graft, and he deserves moments like that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, mate. He's an absolute trooper of a lad. Obviously, when I was here last time, and I went to Redditch, I took him because I just, in that for a short time I was here, everything about the lad, he's just his determination, his work ethic, his will to, when he's really hurting, to get back and do the hard yards. And by the way, he does chip in with a few goals and all, and he does chip in with important ones. He's just a blinding lad, period. Do you know what I mean? So when you're at a club at our level, you need good people as well. It's not just about good players, it's about good people. And he's a proper lad, so I'm delighted for him. He earned it, he deserves it. But there was lots of good performances. Obviously we had one of our players left on a 7-dayer, and I've been all week, mate, I've been banging my head against a brick wall trying to get people in. And it's difficult because I'm bringing young ones in, really, they're kids. But at this moment in time, with where we are, they're the ones that really want to come. I've tried some, lads' names that fans would know here from our level and just above. And the bottom line is they don't really fancy it at the moment. Listen, it is what it is. We brought 3 in anyway, so they didn't get registered till late this morning, so it was a tough one to sort of get them involved. Anyway, obviously young Akai came in today from Forest Green Rovers. I had him at Alvechurch. Listen, he did second half he did well out on this left hand side. First half in that 10 he sort of got swallowed up there, the extra men in there, and he found it harder going. But listen, he's a good kid, and he needed that game, or the period of time he played, he needed that. So let's just hope the lads get a boost from that and crack on, kick on.
So you talk about sort of prospective signings, sort of look at our league position and go, don't fancy it, but are you hopeful maybe on the back of today's win, and hopefully if we can build some momentum, some of those nays maybe come yays?
I don't know. I mean, if we you've got Jaden Charles injured at the minute, who's a good player, and he did really well at Bury. And he didn't get injured till really late on in that game, 90 odd minutes. So he won't be too far away for next week. Excuse me. And then you've got the three that came in. So, all of a sudden there'll be a few bodies knocking about. Do you know what I mean? Now listen, if you're going to attack this division and try and be at the other end of it and get in the playoffs or threaten the playoffs, then you've seen the kind of squads that the teams up there have got. They're heavy. They're heavy, and they've got some really good players, and they've got 4 or 5 in their teams that are better than this level. So that's probably the challenge going forward. Is first of all, let's try and stay at step 3 this season, and that's what the real aim is. But then next year, with obviously what's happening behind the scenes, can we then start to build a squad that can not be in this position like we are pretty much every year? We always find ourselves with 9 or 10 games to go. Like the last time I came in, we were always like looking over our shoulders. So that's the plan. But listen, in the end, let's get what we can get out of the boys we've got here. And they're they're a real nice bunch. And I said to him before, if you don't want to be here, go. I've told you that. If you don't want to play here, then there's no problem. The gate's over there. Do one. I just want lads who want to be at this football club and give everything they got for this football club. And right now in there, I believe I've got that. So that straight away gives you something to work with. Now then, technically, can we be better? Yes. Game management, all the key factors of a football match can be better 1,000,000%. Yeah. But first and foremost is that work ethic and what you do physically between 0 to 95 minutes. Do you empty yourselves? And that's a non-negotiable for me. So I've got that since I've been here. That's the God's honest. I have got that in every game. And some of the games we've lost or drawn, they've always given me that. So I've got no qualms.
Finally, it's Stamford next weekend. A team in form, despite their league position.
Yeah, banging form, mate. I mean, won again today. Big win against Needham, by the way. I mean, what a great result. Graham's a scrapper, mate. Don't worry about it. He's always had good sides there. Always tells me he's got no budget. So, listen, he's brought Leon Lobjoit in, who won the division with Bedford. He's brought Duffy back in, who's a right handful up front there. I think he's been playing 4-4-2 really, 4-4-1-1. And they are on fire at the minute. So that is now going to be a really, really tough game. And they're I think they're at Alfchurch on Tuesday night. So that's a game we can take in and have a look at them first hand, which we will do, or probably I will do, I don't know, but certainly that is going to be a tough game. So we need to, I've just said to him in there, enjoy your night, but we need to now prepare properly for what will be a serious test. If we go there and we're flaky, I'm telling you now, they'll run straight over the top of us. So we've got to be ready. We need it just as much as they do. We need points. We've got to get to mid-40s or more to be able to stay in this division. And everybody here really wants to stay in this division. We don't want to go down for sure, but let's just enjoy tonight. Or they can. Our staff are already thinking about next week, but we'll get that watched and crack on.
Cheers. Nice, thank you.